I'm Robert Rickert, and I'm mayor of Macon, Georgia.
All right, great. Now, we're here today to talk about some of the international aspects of Macon, and one of the biggest or most well-known international events in the city is the annual Cherry Blossom Festival.
That's correct.
And I understand that there are a number of countries that are featured in that event each year.
This year is the 26th annual Cherry Blossom Festival, which is typically held in the third week of March. It's a little bit off schedule this year because of the Easter holiday, and they pushed it back, so it's actually more like the fourth week in March this year. But typically it's the third week in March, and like I said, this is the 26th annual Cherry Blossom Festival. Each year, the Cherry Blossom Festival selects different countries as featured countries because the theme of the festival is love, beauty, and international friendship. So the Cherry Blossom Festival selects featured countries each year, and every year they're different, although some countries may show up several years in a row. They try to incorporate different countries from around the world, and this year the featured countries are Sweden, Japan, the Republic of China, Taiwan, Russia, and the United Kingdom. So there are 5 featured countries for this year's festival.
And those selections are sometimes influenced by the sister city relationship?
Absolutely. Macon also has a sister city program. We are now up to 6 sister cities. The initial one was in France, Macon, France, which is spelled the same way that Macon, Georgia is spelled, and hence the genesis of our first sister city. But since then, we've gone on to have 5 additional sister cities, one in Ghana, Elmina, Ghana, one in Japan, Kurobe City, Japan, one in Russia, Ulyanovsk in Russia, the municipality of Kaohsiung in Taiwan, and the city of Gwacheon in South Korea.
Okay. And how do you feel that this event and these relationships, which aren't necessarily business-oriented, how do you feel that they influence business here in Macon, and especially attracting international business?
I think they're related, perhaps not directly related, but indirectly they are related. We are in a global economy, so manufacturers that are marketing globally need to make an initial determination of strategically where to locate. After they do that, they need to partner with the local state and local governments to develop incentives for locating in that particular municipality as opposed to another. But then finally it gets down to this element of friendship. Will my company be welcomed into this community? Will my employees that I put at this plant or this facility be welcomed into that community? So that's where the idea of international friendship comes in, and it does affect business development. Our most recent international company to locate in Macon, Georgia, was the Kumho Tire Company. And the president of Kumho Tire Company, when he was here, wanted to know, will the people that come over from South Korea to help manage and operate this plant, will they be welcomed here? And we were able to reassure him that they would, in fact, be welcomed in Macon, Georgia. And the Cherry Blossom Festival and its theme of love, beauty, and international friendship obviously demonstrate that.
Okay, great. And Macon has a long history of attracting international companies. What do you think about the city and the area attracts companies from all around the world?
As I just said, number one, we are in a very strategic location. Georgia is now one of the fastest growing states in the United States. Macon is right in the middle of Georgia. Macon is located at the intersection of two interstate highways, I-16, which links Macon to Savannah and the deep water ports at Savannah, and I-75, which links Macon with Atlanta, and also, of course, Hartsfield International Airport, Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. So we are right on this, what we refer to as the Georgia International Business Corridor, with goods, equipment, and people that need to travel from the deep water ports in Savannah up the highway to Macon, and then right on up 75 into Atlanta and Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. So we are strategically located, I think, is one thing. But the second thing that I just mentioned, the people here are very open to foreign visitors and to foreign businesses that are thinking about locating here. So that goes to the idea of making people feel welcome.
Okay, great.
So we're strategically located and we make people feel welcome, and that combination is dynamite.
Macon is one of only 2 cities in Georgia with a consular corps, and I understand that
that is correct.
they've been involved with this idea of the Georgia International Business Corridor. Why do you think that it benefits a country to have a consulate here as opposed to elsewhere in the state?
Our central location would be one, while obviously the majority of the people in Georgia are going to be centered north of us around Atlanta. Atlanta has more than 1/3 of the state's population now, working on 1/2 of the state's population. But our central location and proximity to Atlanta makes us a wonderful place to have a consular office. For any foreign country looking to locate a consular office in the state of Georgia, I think they would be well served to look in Macon. Like I say, because of the central location and the proximity to Atlanta and the welcoming nature of the people of Macon.
Okay. Let me see. And I've also heard that as part of the city's development and part of that central location, there's a plan to build an intermodal passenger terminal here for commuter rail and other types of transportation. Do you think that that line would increase business activity in the city?
There's no doubt about it. And on all of the passenger rail proposals, whether federal proposals that look at high-speed links between Charlotte, North Carolina and Washington, D.C. area running down to Atlanta, they all continue south to Macon. So Macon is on the high-speed corridor that's been identified by the federal government. On the local level, when you talk about intercity passenger rail, the state of Georgia has had several proposals that they're looking at, and we are in the early stages of implementing a pilot project in the state of Georgia where passenger rail is being extended out of Atlanta and down as far as Griffin, Georgia, or Lovejoy, I think is actually where the terminus point is. But that's on the way and about half the way to Macon. The other line that has been discussed and talked about runs from Athens, Georgia to Atlanta. So the link is between Atlanta and Athens and Atlanta south to Macon. So whether you're talking about federal proposals or state proposals, Macon is a key factor in both. Again, because of the location and the availability of existing passenger rail trackage that can be utilized.